This is Top Accurate Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. At least 6 people were killed in a Russian missile strike on an apartment building in Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskiy's hometown of Kryvyi Rih on Tuesday, officials said. Residents sobbed outside the burnt-out apartment block from which smoke billowed after the early morning attack on the central Ukrainian city. Officials said at least 25 people were wounded and others could still be trapped under the rubble. Olha Chernisova, who lives in the 5-story apartment block, said she was woken by an explosion which sounded like thunder and thrown out of her bed by a violent blast wave. Around her, the street and courtyard were strewn with glass and bricks. At least 5 cars were ruined husks. Ihor Lavrenenko, who lives in a different part of the building, said he had 2 blasts. Rescue operations were underway in the apartment building and in a destroyed warehouse. Regional Governor Cyril Lisak said on a Telegram messaging app. "22 US service members were injured in a helicopter mishap in northeast Syria on Sunday," the US military said late on Monday, without disclosing the cause of the incident or detailing the severity of the injuries. The US Military Central Command said 10 service members were evacuated to higher-level care facilities outside the region. Central Command, which oversees US troops in the Middle East, said no enemy fire was reported, but added that the cause of the incident was under investigation. Officials at US Central Command did not immediately respond to requests for further information. The US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces, which control swaths of northeast Syria, referred questions to the US-led coalition under which American troops are deployed in the zone. The autonomous Kurdish-led administration, which governs the area, and the central Syrian government in Damascus did not immediately respond to requests for comment. There are about 900 US personnel deployed to Syria, most of them in the east, as part of a mission fighting the remnants of Islamic State. American troops there have come under repeated attacks in recent years by an Iran-backed militia. NATO has started the largest ever Air Force deployment exercise in the Western Military Alliance's history, a drill being presented as a display of unity among members and partners of the bloc as tensions with Russia have escalated following Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. The German Air Force-led Air Force Defender 23 exercises, which began on Monday, involve approximately 250 military aircraft from 25 NATO and partner countries, including Japan and NATO applicants, Sweden, according to the German Air Force. Up to 10,000 service members are participating in the drills, which run until June 23rd and are designed to boost interoperability and preparedness of NATO air forces in a crisis situation, including protecting against drones and cruise missiles in the case of an attack within NATO territory. In quote, "The significant message we are sending is that we can defend ourselves," Lieutenant General Ingo Gerhardt of the German Luftwaffe told public television on Monday. The Air Defender 23 exercise was conceived in 2018, in part as a response to Russia's annexation of Crimea from Ukraine 4 years earlier, though Gerhardt insisted the drill was, in quote, "not targeted at anyone in particular." He said the exercise would not send any flight, for example, in the direction of Kaliningrad, the Russian enclave bordering NATO member states, Poland and Lithuania. The 4 children rescued in the Colombian Amazon after wandering the jungle for 40 days following a plane crash are showing satisfactory recovery, welfare officials said, as reports of a battle for custody of the siblings emerged. The 4 Utoto indigenous children, Leslie, Soleini, Tenorio, and Christine, aged 13, 9, 5, and 1 respectively, have received treatment at a military hospital in the Colombian capital Bogota since they were found hungry and dehydrated on Friday, 5 weeks after going missing in the jungle. Their mother had died 4 days after the crash, which also killed the pilot and another adult passenger. Adriana Velasquez of the Colombian Family Welfare Institute said on Monday that the children were in high spirits. The older siblings had been fighting fever spikes, a colleague of Velasquez, Astrid Cáceres, told Colombia's W Radio, while Tenorio was being monitored for a possible reaction to something he ate. Tenorio was too weak to walk by the time rescuers found the 4 after searching more than 2,600 kilometers of jungle, only to discover them some 5 kilometers from the wreck of the small plane. General Pedro Sanchez, who led the search effort, as chief of the Military Special Operations Command, said rescuers had passed within 20 to 50 meters of the site where the children were found on a couple of occasions but missed them. Toyota will introduce high-performance solid-state batteries and other technologies to improve the driving range and cut cost of future electric vehicles, the automaker said on Tuesday, a strategic pivot that sent its shares higher. The Japanese giant's technology roadmap, covering aspects as varied as next-generation battery development and a radical redesign of factories, amounted to the automaker's fullest disclosure of its plan to compete in the fast-growing market for EVs, where it has lagged rivals led by Tesla. The plan comes a day before an annual shareholders meeting where governance and strategy, including a slow pivot to battery EVs under former CEO Akio Toyoda, will be scrutinized. Shares of the world's best-selling automaker jumped 5% on the day to 2,173 yen, the highest since August. Toyota said it aims to launch next-generation lithium-ion batteries from 2026, offering longer ranges and quicker charging. It also trumpeted a technological breakthrough that addresses durability problems in solid-state batteries and said it is developing means to mass-produce those batteries, targeting commercialization over 2027 to 2028. That is the size of top accolade global news update. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Tuesday!